It's better to say no than to say yes and then back out. Steve Apodaca. DZ Tribe, Josh Thomas. Today I want to talk about the action lever. A lot of times we get overwhelmed. We get lost. We procrastinate. We're not sure what happens next. We're not sure where to go. We're not sure where we came from. And we don't know how to make any progress. And there's so many options in front of us. And we just get lost and we get stuck and we stop. Some people call it analysis by paralysis. Some people call it procrastination. Some people call it being hyper analytical or, waiting for the situation to be just right. What's the solution, though? How do we stop analysis by paralysis? There are lots of books written on this. There's lots of science out there backing it up. But really, I've interviewed a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs, not just here for the Do Zone, but I actually ran another podcast called How to Lose Money, 238 episodes of that over 4 years. You may be able to find it online somewhere, I'm not sure. But basically, I've talked to a lot of people, and I have spoken with a lot more people, thousands actually, more than 2,500 people just starting their entrepreneurial journey. 2,500 plus one-on-one conversations with new entrepreneurs. And they all have one thing in common. The one thing that really keeps them from being successful, it has nothing to do with their level of skill. It has nothing to do with their level of will. And it has nothing to do with how fancy or unique or sexy or well-priced or strategic their product or service may be. The number one difference between a successful entrepreneur and an unsuccessful one comes down to action. The action lever. Pulling the action lever is the only escape. It will open up the escape hatch for procrastination, for overwhelm, for analysis paralysis. The action lever cures all. And it doesn't have to be perfect action either. The action lever is long and wide and forgiving. If you just tug at it a little bit consistently, and hey, for those of you that are thinking I'm getting all dirty here, stop it. Let me make my analogy. But if you just give it a yank, if you will, stop it. Stop making me think things. But if you really just make the effort to pull the action lever, eventually the hatch will open and you will be able to escape that chamber you're stuck in. Action cures everything, even if you're not doing it right. Even if you aren't sure how to do it. Even if the very first step you take, you trip and you fall. At least you're falling forward. And when you fall forward, you're making progress. And when you get back up, you're not starting in the same place you were before. The action lever cures everything. If you are stuck right now, if you are lost or confused or frustrated or depressed or you're putting something off, action is your cure. I'm no doctor, but your diagnosis is grim if you're standing still. And my prescription is to take some action. Get out there and do something today. Don't wait. Go and do the thing that you're avoiding. Brandon Brittingham says, the success you desire lies behind the work you're avoiding. Nothing could be truer than that. And the work requires you to pull the action lever. So if you have not pulled the action lever today, and maybe you're thinking back for the last few days, you've been a little stuck, you've been a little lost, you've been a little concerned, and you don't know what comes next. Don't worry about it. You don't need to know what comes next. Most of us don't anyway. We're just guessing. Some of us are better at guessing than others. Some of us live in more predictable environments than others. But the truth of the matter is we really have no idea what's coming next. We have no control over that. But we do have control over the action that we take. So what is your action lever you can pull today? What is that thing you can do today that you can look back on and say, I did that. I took that action. I did the thing that I wasn't willing to do before, or I wasn't able to do, or I wasn't thinking I needed to do. What is that action that you can take? Well, go take it. In fact, I'm not even going to finish this episode. I'm going to cut it short right here, and I'm going to say, look, the point is clear. Pull the action lever, and you will get results. Make something happen today. I believe in you. Do you believe in you? Episode of The Do Zone. I want you to get out there and do things. Speaking of doing things, you can learn about how you tend to get things done by taking our proprietary assessment. It's called the Do Zone DNA Profile. And you can access that and learn more about it by going to dozonedna.com and get yourself signed up. Get your custom results. Tell a friend. Tell us about it. Make sure that you also subscribe to our podcast on Apple and or Spotify. Would love it if you'd leave a review. 5 stars. Make me so happy. But anything that you want to say is just fine. And if you have a suggestion for a future solo, I'd love to hear that as well. You can find me on all the social medias. I'm not too hard to find. Just keep in mind that there is a famous comedian named Josh Thomas, who I think is Australian. There's also a possibly current, maybe former NFL player named Josh Thomas. I am neither one of those. I am me. All right. Hey, till next time, go do something.